Hello everyone and welcome back to Madden 2002 here in this Cowboys franchise mode, in this failing franchise mode, I guess. Year number 4 has gotten off to a pretty horrendous start as we have dropped to 2-5 on the year, or I think 3-6 now after games that we streamed at the end of the Lions game in the previous video. We are a 3-win team heading into Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't want to say for the first time in our tenure, but certainly it is probably close. I mean, it's the first time we've ever watched it, obviously, but as I said, I've tried to incorporate different opponents and not just the same division opponents that we watch every single year, even though those are the games that statistically mean the most on our schedule. Especially now in a year where the games don't really matter, might as well have fun and show off some different stadiums and different teams here, and we get to see a very early Heinz Field, which doesn't even have the open-ended end zone completely detailed. It's just like an enclosed, weird, awkward building thing. I think Madden 03 is the first Madden where they actually make it like the actual scoreboard in real life. But Madden 04, 05, I think, is where they finally get it perfect. But either way, we are here in Pittsburgh trying to get a win here, trying to steal some wins from the AFC North. AFC North is our out-of-conference division that we have to play this season, so if we could hopefully, do somewhat well. The Bengals already tripped us up, so we got to see if we can trip up the Steelers, but already they're driving past midfield, and when you got a guy like Jerome Bettis in the backfield doing stuff like this, it's going to be pretty easy to move the ball as easily as you want to. So already got 31 yards on the ground here, just a few touches on the football, and the Steelers are moving pretty easily. So they're going to reset up here and try and punch it further in. So on 2nd and 7 now, already a couple minutes gone here in the first quarter. They're going to send Brenner, the tight end, in motion. And Cordel's going to go for another handoff to Jerome Bettis. Jerome Bettis picking up some blocks. He's got open space, heading to the end zone, and Wooden makes the touchdown-saving tackle, the safety, but he's brought down about the 2-yard line, so you might as well just re-roll up for that goal line stand here. That's probably not going to come, but either way, defense is going to try here. If we could at least keep 3 points instead of 6 points off the board, then that'll be important. So on 1st and goal, it's going to be a fake handoff. Cordell Stewart goes to the corner of the end zone, and he finds his man Edwards along the back pylon. I couldn't tell who was in coverage. I wasn't paying attention to our defensive player, but whoever it was, they were lost, completely lost. So the Steelers strike first here, and now late in the first quarter, they have a 3rd and 5, have an opportunity now in Cowboy territory again. It's Jerome Bettis, or it's actually not Jerome Bettis, it's the backup running back getting busy here. It might even be the fullback, and he's shaking off tackles, and once again getting brought down inside the 5 on about the 3 or 4 yard line. So the Steelers are once again in prime position here to score some more points as that running attack. And we saw in Detroit, man, the running game was really kind of brutal against our defense, and it has been in a lot of different spots so far this year. But our defense standing tall here on this goal line stand, and we get pressure in early. I couldn't even tell how many Cowboys or which Cowboys it was specifically. We had guys from everywhere. We had linebackers in there. We had defensive linemen in there. I mean, just everyone was in there. You had to hack them down, cut them down. There you go. There you go. And that is Salam, who I think is one of the rookie linebackers that we drafted. I don't even think he's one of the starters. I think we do have some injuries to our linebacking core. I think Dexter Coakley once again is injured for a good portion of the season. I just haven't really focused it since it hasn't really been all that important. It hasn't mattered. So we forced Pittsburgh to take 3 points, and now we're going to answer back on offense as it's Raghib Ishmael wide open in the blue, man, getting into the end zone, and Chuck Dunn, I'm trying to keep up, catch my breath and keep up, but Chuck Dunn and Raghib Ishmael are getting things working quickly, rather quickly. So we work the ball here into Pittsburgh territory, and now just absolutely throw off Pittsburgh's secondary. They had absolutely no hope of answering back and protecting this one here as the DB tries to play it a little bit aggressively here, maybe a bit too aggressively, and Raghib Ishmael has the speed to get into the end zone. So we're going to get our first touchdown of the day here. 7-10 is your score here. With a few minutes left in the first half, we're going to give it to Roland Rich, and he's going to get to the outside edge here, shake off a tackle, and then finally gets brought down, but not before picking up a good 15-20 yards here on the ground. So, hey, man, we can run too, and that's probably the only thing we've been able to do. It's good to see that the passing game has showed up early in this game in Pittsburgh, but running the football has really been our bread and butter so far this year. So, another 3rd and long situation. Chuck Dunn going to fire this one across the middle of the field, and cutting upfield is our receiver. It's Kelly Thompson, the rookie, and he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. And we love to see the young guys getting involved in creating points and opportunities on offense. So, now we're going to show a special teams play again. I never show kickoffs in this game. or just period, I never show kickoffs. But Pittsburgh is going to take it out of the end zone. And it's going to be a fumble. Even the camera change didn't even show the little fumble icon, but it is a fumble. It's Edwards who caught the first touchdown for Pittsburgh. He fumbles the ball on the kick return, and we're going to pick it up. So we got prime opportunity here. And there's Extra Coakley, so I guess he's not injured. Maybe that comes later. I'm not sure. But on 2nd and 6, Chuck Nunn's going to float this one across the middle of the field here on the fake. There's pressure off the edge, picked up nicely, and that is Desmond Clark here, our free agent tight end, making his name heard once again in another game here as we get a humongous boost here in the end zone. And we're going to take the lead over Pittsburgh. It's 14-10 is now your score here. But we're going to add another touchdown, or we already did. I missed one. 21-10 is the score regardless. So at the end of the first half here, heading into the second half, up a good bit over the Steelers. We're going to hand it off to Roland Rich. He's going to bounce outside here, and he's got the speed, burst of speed. He's leaving the linebackers in the dust. Is anyone going to catch him? No one's going to come in from the top of the screen here as Roland Rich is gone for the touchdown. And yeah, dude, that's got to be the record here for as longest as he gets absolutely off in this game here, man. He is just absolutely feasting right now, and we seem to have silenced the Pittsburgh Steelers run game a little bit more since the beginning of the game started, because remember, that was all Pittsburgh was doing, was just running all over us, but we managed to get out of that funk. So that's going to be it for that drive as we're going to score. So 28-10 is your score. Pittsburgh's got quite the hole to dig themselves out of, and they're facing a 3rd and short situation right here. If we could just stop them, then we'd be all right. But there's Jerome Bettis getting his name called once again here as he picks up the first down and a little bit more here. Not the biggest run that we were used to from the beginning of the game here, but still making a lot of guys miss here, throwing some people off. Hambrick gets brought down by Jared O'Neal eventually, and the Steelers have themselves a first down. So inside the 30-yard line here, the Dallas 30-yard line, the Steelers need to get into the end zone desperately. Cordell Stewart fires this one to the left side of the field, and it's caught, and it's in the end zone for a touchdown. I think that might have been Plexico Burris. I couldn't tell. Yeah, look at that dude. Just whipped that ball. Whipping the pill around the field. And I think it is Plexico Burris who caught that touchdown. So both top receivers for the Steelers do get a touchdown in this game. So the third quarter is going to come to an end. 28-17 is your score. The game is not over here. The Steelers could get back into this one if they can get a little bit of a boost on offense. And if our offense stalls out, which they have another opportunity here early in the fourth quarter, and it's hauled in and picked up, and it looked like Jerome Bettis might have caught that one, the running back. And it is Jerome Bettis who caught it for another fresh set of downs for the Steelers offense. So they're going to move once again. Running and passing, man, they figured out the rhythm here late in this ball game. So on a 2nd and 10, Cordell Stewart drops back here, plenty of time to throw here, and he fires it off to Plexico Burris, and I couldn't tell who that was. It might have been Woodson, the safety here, who might have bit a little bit too hard on that route, trying to make a play there, and just maybe mistimed it, but Plexico Burris does catch it. So in the red zone once again for the Steelers. On the very next play in the end zone is Plexico Burris again, as Westbrook on that side is just struggling to contain the Steelers' top receiver here. And as you can see in that comparison, our top receiver's not even really getting involved today, hasn't really done a whole lot. So the Steelers are going to try and go for 2 here to make this a little bit more manageable, put themselves in a good position. But the play completely falls apart as Hambrick gets in there and sacks Cordell Stewart, and he even fumbles the football on the sack. But Pittsburgh, or I think regardless, whoever picked it up would be down, so it doesn't matter. So, but now Pittsburgh has an opportunity to tie the game or take the lead here, but it's going to be a fumble in the end zone, and Dennis Hambrick's going to pick it up in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown. So a huge blunder by the Steelers offense. Kind of just pretty much that could seal the game if that stands, but it is going to get challenged. So I'm going to let you guys watch this and you tell me, because originally I thought, yeah, that was probably a pass here, and clearly his arm is coming forward, but I think that ball's out. I think that ball is firmly out before. Look at that. There's no control on that. No way. That's got to be a fumble, man. Hambrick gets to Cordell Stewart and causes a fumble, in my opinion. But the refs are going to say that this one is going to be reversed. So they're going to give the ball back to the Steelers right around in their own territory, on their own like 5 or 6 yard line. But the Steelers are going to get the ball back, and that's going to keep them alive in this game. So maybe controversial call might come back to bite us. So on a 3rd and 7, Cordell Stewart finds Bruner, the tight end, across the middle, and it's going to at least extend the drive here. And we're going to probably fast forward here a little bit more through the drives. The Steelers are really trying to put basically a go-ahead or game-winning, go-ahead or tying drive right here. So out of the 2-minute warning here at midfield, Cordell Stewart finds Jerome Bettis out of the backfield, and he picked up a first, and he's escaping more tacklers and gets even more yardage. So he was dead to rights after that first tackle, but we had a couple guys who just couldn't really finish finish it here. So Hamburg gets picked up, and then Wooding gets shed off, and then Westbrook and Denton Wynn are in pursuit, but couldn't just wrap him up and make the tackle. So I think it was Jared O'Neal who had to eventually bring down Bettis along the sidelines. But inbounds, the time will still continue to run. The Steelers are running with tempo. They don't really have to. They still have almost all of that 2 minutes to work. Cordell Stewart fires it again, and this time Westbrook times that one perfectly and gets his hands on the football here. It would have been great if he could have picked that one off. I don't know how many picks we've gotten out of that free agent signing, but good defense like that is definitely why I brought him in here as well. So on a 2nd and 10 here, Cordell Stewart fires to the end zone, and it's caught, and it's in the end zone from Edwards, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Steelers. And so now, they didn't get the 2-point conversion. It was 23 to 28, and now that touchdown is going to put them in prime positioning here. And they're going to try and go for 2 once again. They're going to hand it off here, and they're going to get it. So they get the 2-point conversion here. So it was 29-28, and now it's going to be 31-28. So if we can at least just get a field goal, now we can tie it, man. But a 28-10 lead completely decimated, and I don't know what's going on with this team, man. It's just falling apart. And this is really all in the fourth quarter, too. So with a minute and a half, we're going to need to put together a go-ahead or tying drive here, and Chuck Dunn already can't really connect with Gonzalez in the middle of the field on the deep ball. So we're going to have to re-rack and try this one again here, as Chuck Dunn's struggled in these late game kind of comeback drives here. So on 2nd and 10, Dunn's going to drop back here. Pressure's picked up on the edge and fires it across the middle of the field. Absolutely nobody was home. I don't know where he was even trying to get that. So I'm a little sick and tired of watching these incompletions from Chuck Dunn in these clutch moments. So on 3rd and 10, Dunn rolling around back in that pocket, fires it to the left side of the field, and it's Clark, the tight end, who cuts upfield as they were playing pretty softly on him. No one was really playing all that aggressively in a shallow zone, so he was able to just kind of catch this and turn upfield here. And the linebackers, man, they just don't got the speed, I guess. Just really don't have the speed to seal anything off. So we're going to get a fresh set of downs here, which is good, because we were facing a 3rd down. But the time is going to continue to run here. We might see Chuck Dunn try and spike it here as we think about it. But no, he's just going to run the play here. We got plenty of time. So Dunn's going to try and float that one out to Joey Galloway, and it is incomplete again. So that connection that we saw so much in the first half of the season really has not been working all that well in the last couple weeks of that we've been watching here. So it was pretty much non-existent in Detroit, and now in Pittsburgh it's struggling even more so. So at about a minute and change left to go, 2nd and 10, Dunn. All day to throw once again. He's taking all day, wants the deep shot, and he's got it along the sidelines, and Cowboys are all pissed off about it, so I think this one might stand. But again, it looks like, I don't know, I would say, I would challenge that. If I was playing the game, I would, because it doesn't look like he got the feet in. We're going to see it on the replay here and see exactly if he did get his feet in. I think it was Joey Galloway, so for all my complaining, my hemming and hawing, I don't know, it was Kelly Thompson. It's a rookie, so Kelly Thompson, I guess, toe drags it. The refs are going to give it to us, so a 3rd down we're facing here. Roland Rich has to get to the first, and he cannot do it here. I don't know why we're just trying to run and play conservative for the tie here. We had plenty of time to at least try and get into the end zone, but we're going to kill off as much time as we can here. Down to about 10 seconds left to go on a 4th and 4. Stuckey's going to kick the tying field goal, and it is good. So we're not out of this one yet. We haven't blown this game completely yet, but it is now going to probably end up going to overtime here, tied at 31 apiece, and it is. So here we are, man, trying to play for their 4th win of the year. The Steelers trying to pad themselves here in the AFC North, and it's a struggle. So on our first play on offense, Roland Rich is going to fumble the football, man. He's going to fumble the ball, and that's going to complete the choke job, the world-famous choke job of the Dallas Cowboys, man. I cannot believe he fumbled the ball. I think we had that happen in a Bengals game back in the Bengals series. If you guys watched that, I think we had that happen as well. So a couple plays later, trying to just run out some time here to kick the game-winning field goal, but Jerome Bettis says, nah, dog, I'm going to follow my blocks and get into the end zone anyway, and there's the game-winning touchdown from Jerome Bettis. He started this game off by completely giving our defense fits, and he's going to end it by doing the same thing. So we blow a 28-10 lead here, not 28-3, but a 28-10 lead here, and end up losing this one in overtime, 37-31. I think this might be the first overtime. That's not the first. I think we had one or two others, but it's been the first time in a long time that we've had an overtime game in this Cowboys series that we've watched, and that's how it ends, man. So we finally play halfway decent here. The Steelers still outplayed us in a lot of different ways. They were able to do a lot on offense. Really good on 3rd down. We, once again, struggling on 3rd down. Got to be the worst team in the NFL on 3rd down, I would imagine. Taking a look at Chuck Dunn's numbers here, a whole lot better than they were in Detroit here, but still not like exactly what we're looking for. I need a guy who's going to win these games, man. But 3 touchdowns, you think he would? Roland Rich has an absolute career day as well. Desmond Clark still leading the charge and receiving. We need Joey Galloway to be a lot more involved, man. It's great to see Kelly Thompson doing good too, but Jared O'Neal getting involved all around. Dexter Coakley with the TFL. So that's the numbers here. So we're going to get out of that now, and we're going to lose our next game to the Ravens, 7-10, and they go to 10-2. But we are going to pick up a win on Thanksgiving against the Redskins. So we're going to head into our next game here in Lambeau Field. Take a look at Lambeau for the first time in the series. We have a big road trip to end the year, 4 straight road games. But we are 4-8. We're just about out of it. I haven't shown the standings because there's really no point. We're just about eliminated. The best we can get is 8-8. We would need everyone to lose in front of us. It's not going to happen. But we are going to come back here. Hope to see you guys back when we play Green Bay.